Let's open it up to the media. Matt, who will we pick in first?
Let's go with Jerry Mills first.
Thank you. Hi, Amir. How you doing?
I'm all right, thank you. Good, thanks.
Excellent. So, this will be your first fight in nearly 3 years, and I was just wondering, did you consider leaving the sport during that time, and also what brought you back?
So what brought me back was when all this talk was happening about the Kell Brook fight, and it just kind of motivated me to say, look, I wanna just shut him up, and I wanna really put a beating on him and show the public who the better fighter is. I mean, throughout COVID, when everything was back up, open again, everywhere I would go, people would talk about the Kell Brook fight. I mean, when you fighting Kell Brook, when are you gonna beat him? When are you gonna put him in his place? I used to be like, I don't need to beat him because I know I'm the better fighter. But people are like, nah, but we want to see that fight. We want to see you beat him. And that kind of gave me that push, to go and make that fight happen. So obviously, a big thanks to Sky and Boxer for making this happen. I mean, without Ben, I don't think this fight would have happened. Ben went out there out of his way and made this fight happen. I got Maz, who was dealing on my side, who was speaking to me while I was traveling, said, Amir, do you want the fight with Kel? I said, 100% I want the fight. But it's never happened. And the reason why it's never happened is because of few little things that we'd never really agree on. So what we did this time, I had to go there, and the weight was one issue. Obviously, I was never happy making 149, but obviously I agreed to it because I said, look, I look the bad one. When I say that I'm not going to do the fight because it's not a 147, then people are like, oh, 2 pounds, but 2 pounds makes a massive difference. People don't understand that, especially when you're cutting weight. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead with it. I'm going to go ahead with it. We're going to make the fight happen. And I agreed on everything that they wanted. And I'm glad that Sky was on board and also Ben was on board, and he listened and he went and executed it. So I'm glad we've got here now, and we're only 4 weeks away from the fight now, where we're both going to be in the ring and people are going to get to see the fight they want to see.
That's great. Thanks, Amir. Good luck in the fight.
Very much.
Let's go to Jonathan Pinfield now.
Amir, we spoke to Kel earlier today, and he told us that he thinks you're a blagger. He says you've been blagging your career for quite a while now, so I'd like your thoughts on that. And he's also said that he thinks that you're taking the fight is so that you can buy a bigger house in Dubai. So I was wondering, are there easier ways for you to get the money to buy a house in Dubai? Or is fighting Kel probably the easiest option for you to get that mansion?
Look, to be honest with you, I've got mansions and God's been kind. I've got the money and I've got mansions, and I can go out and literally buy anything I want when I want as well. So I don't have that problem. You have to remember, I've been in the game a very long time. I've got the biggest names and I've made a lot of money. I've made more money in other fights than this fight against Kel. I mean, for Kel to say that, that just shows that bitterness he has. Just jealousy. It's pure jealousy. Look, end of the day, this is a fight I'm doing for the public. I'm not doing it. I mean, look, okay, fine, we're prize fighters. Yes, we need to get paid when we fight. But look, end of the day, I was offered more money. No disrespect to Sky. I was offered more money from Eddie Hearn. But I turned that down. And obviously it was up to me to say which TV deal I go with and which promoter I go with. I end up going with Sky because I think Sky is the best platform for this fight, that everyone will get a chance to see me fight. Now, if it was to do with the money, I think I would have definitely gone with Eddie Hearn. But then that means less people are going to see the fight. It's not going to be promoted the same way as Sky. So that's the reason I went with Sky. I think, look, with Sky, with Kel, sorry, is that he's always at that bit of jealousy. He's always at that bit of chip on his shoulder. And look, I've gone my own way. What I've done in the sport boxing, like I've surpassed whatever he's ever done in boxing. So he can never. I mean, he's gonna hate me for that. But look, it's just more jealousy than anything. And sorry, what was the other question you said? I think there was another part to that question.
You're on mute. Back on mute.
Was there another part to that question? I think you're on mute.
We can't hear him. Matt, do you want to get someone else?
Yeah, let's go with Laurie Anshaw.
Hi, Amir. Hope you're doing well. I'm with Behind the Gloves. Amir, you're known for being a slick fighter with like lightning speed reflexes. But on the other side of that coin, so is Brook. He's kind of known for being quick too. So tell me, what is the game plan going into this fight, and how do you imagine this fight playing out? What will you do in that ring come February 19th, just to ensure that your hand is raised at the end and your name is called?
Yeah, I think yeah, we have a very similar style where he's very explosive at times. I don't think he has the same work rate as me, or you know, punches as many times or has the same speed as me. So I have that advantage over him. Honestly speaking, I don't think Kel has a chin or even could take a good shot. I think his punch resistance is gone, literally gone. And I honestly believe that he's doing this fight just for that payday. I'm doing it for the public, giving the fans what they want. Because I always thought that if I didn't take this fight, I'll always have people saying to me that you never fought Kel, you never fought Kel. It'll always be said to me, he's doing this for that payday. I mean, look, a guy who's had a beating, and for the beatings he's taken for the very little money, this fight against me is the biggest payday he's ever going to have. So obviously he's a businessman as well. I'm sure he wants to make sure that he knows he's going to be making big money fighting me, and he's willing to risk the damages he's got on his body for that payday. And look, I hope he is ready and he's going to give me a good fight. The way he's talking, I mean, the way he's saying things is, you know, that he's gonna beat me, he's gonna do this and do that. I hope he does. I hope he tries to, but I just don't see him doing anything.
Thank you, Amir.
Thanks.
Let's go with Boxing UK now.
Hi, Amir. It's Steve from Boxing UK.
Hi, Steve. You all right?
Hi, Amir. Amir, earlier, Kel was talking about the animosity that he has for you.
Yeah.
He talked about he still won't shake your hand. Can you tell us a little bit about your personal feelings towards Kel? And once this is done and dusted, are you shaking hands?
Look, you know, with me, I mean, look, I'm a sportsman, and end of the day, look, yeah, we don't like each other, and there is bad blood there. But to be honest with you, I don't really know where it started from. And I think it's more than anything, I think it's just pure jealousy, really, with what I've done in my career. And he thinks that he should have been where I was. But what got me to where I was is hard work and dedication and discipline and focused. We know that with Kel, he's one of them type of fighters that once he goes off the rails and he's after a fight, he'll go on a piss up and he'll go missing for a couple of weeks, put on loads of weight. I mean, you see the difference in the two of us. When it was quite funny when his coach was Ingle said to Dominic Ingle said that Amir's not been training, whereas Kel has. And I mean, I didn't even have to question that or give an answer to him for that, because when you look at the two of us, there's a big massive difference in who's been training and who ain't been training. I mean, he looked like a well overweight, unhealthy, like he's come off from a night out fighter. Whereas with me, I've been training for the last couple of months and I've been just keeping myself ticking over. And when you look at two fighters, you just look at the skin color, you look at the eyes, you look at the body shape, you look at the frame, you see who the real fighter is and who's not the real fighter. And you know who the fighter is who's been training. So all this, I think what Kel is saying now is just to kind of get under my skin, or maybe somehow kind of put them back in a position where people can start believing that they have a chance of winning this fight. Look, Kel has no chance of winning this fight, and I can honestly say that to you. Come Feb 19th, I'm going to destroy him, and it's going to be a masterclass, and it's going to be the way I destroy him as well. He'll never. I think he will need to retire after that. This will be his last fight.
Good luck on the 19th, Amir. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, let's go to Keith Fraser.
Yeah, hi, Keith Fraser, Seconds Out.
Thank you.
Good evening,
Thank you.
Amir. Look, many well-known pundits, many well-known boxers, past and present, have said for years, you don't want to fight Kell Brook. You're running scared. Certainly of the Kell Brook that beat Sean Porter over there in the States. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Is the reason that you now wanted to take this fight because you feel, particularly after Brook's performance against Crawford, where, as you said, he got knocked out by a jab, you feel Brook is finished, and therefore now's the time for you to take him?
Okay, so you know when Brook was fighting against a Porter and he got that win against Porter, which was a brilliant win. It's a very close fight, got the win, become a world champion. See, at that time we was campaigning. I think I was with, I was sorry about that, guys. Are you still there? Sorry. Yeah, I was with Al Heyman at the time, and or with Golden Boy, one of the two I was with, and I know that the name was getting out there where Amir should fight Kell now. He's a world champion, but I was already campaigning, and I was on a different route. I was fighting. I had world titles as well. I was fighting the big names in America. I was campaigning and fighting in America. I always knew that the Kell Brook fight was always going to be there. You know, I knew that it was always going to be there for me, and so that's the reason I didn't think it needed to happen at the time. Not because I was scared. I mean, if you look at the opposition and the people I've faced, you know, I've faced some tough and hard fighters. I mean, a fighter like Devin Alexander, who Kell did not want to fight when he was told that many times. They said that fight was supposed to be made, but Kell didn't want to fight Devin Alexander. Now, obviously, this is what Devin Alexander's team also said at the press conference when I was fighting him. There's other fighters I fought who probably, like Canelo, for example. So I just thought that the way I've planned my career, I think it was just perfect the way I did things. And look, the main thing is that now it's here. The fight is here, and not because I'm taking the fight because, well, yeah. Then again, you always look at your opponent and think, how good was he in his last fight? Kell looked terrible. On a serious note, he looked terrible. And if that same Kell Brook turns up to fight me, I think I don't see the fight going past 3-4 rounds. So, I mean, it's a business end of the day, but like, at the same time, beating a Kell Brook now or beating him 5 years ago, I don't think it makes a difference. When people read that on my resume, oh, you fought Kell Brook, they're not going to look when I fought Kell Brook or what year that was. So really, I don't think that matters now. To me, it doesn't really matter. To me, it's probably better now fighting him now than then, because he's already half broken. So, but
this is a fight that everyone wants to see. I mean, everyone has wanted to see it for years, but now you've taken the fight. Surely you'd rather face the Brook that lost to Terence Crawford than the Brook that beat Sean Porter. That's the bottom line.
100%. Look, it's a business, and it's a business. This sport is, and 100%. Why not? I mean, he's still Kell Brook, isn't he? And he's still the guy who still talks. He still talks the same. He still feels the same way about fighting me, and he still feels that he can still beat me. But maybe I just don't think he has it in him. He's not the same Kell Brook he was before. So I'll be honest, there, a couple of years ago, he would have given me a harder fight for sure. But now I think he doesn't have a chance.
Just a reminder, guys, if you want to ask a question, just to raise your hand in the reactions.
Let's go to Josh Challies now.
Hi, Amir. I spoke to Kell Brook earlier, and we spoke about the crowd in Manchester. Obviously, you're going to have a hometown support there. How do you think that's going to impact the fight at all?
I think with both of us, really. I mean, Kell's gone over to America and won a world title out of country. So really, I don't think he's got much to worry about, really. I'm sure he'll be fine. Look, we are professional fighters now. I think at the stage of our career now, we know what it's like to fight in an arena where your opponent might have more fans than you, or you might be in an arena that you might have more fans in. It doesn't really matter, because once you're in that ring, you're on your own, you know, and you just have your trainers there to listen to. It's never really made a difference to me. I've never really, it's never affected me in any way. But if he feels that it's more my hometown and also I'll have the bigger fan base, then I'm sure he'll want to work hard and he'll want to. That should be motivation for him to go out there and beat me, in front of my home fans and do a job on me.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you.
Let's go to Joey Mills.
Thank you. So your style has always been built around tremendous speed, tremendous hand speed. I was wondering, as you've got older, is that somewhere that you feel you've had to adapt your style at all, or will you still be relying on your old quickness to beat Kell
Yeah.
Brook?
I'm not going to rely on my speed, no, because I think we need a little bit more than speed to win this fight. We know that Kell has decent timing. We know he's a good boxer himself as well, and has decent speed himself as well and power. But I think when it comes to what I've learned in these last couple of months being here, I think it's about knowing the right positionings, knowing when to throw the right shots at the right time, and also working on a little bit more power, sitting down on more shots, and having a game plan that you're going to stick with through it the whole fight. And sometimes when you told a game plan, it's a game plan that you have to do and you have to kind of think about sticking to. But this is a game plan for the Kell Brook fight, which I don't have to think about. It's part of the training regime that we've been doing every day, so it's going to come so naturally.
That's great. Thanks, Amir.
Thanks.
Let's go to Ben Davies now.
Hi, Amir. Hope you're well. I just wanted to ask, Kell Brook said there's a rematch clause. I just wanted to ask your point of view on that, and if that's something you may consider activating after the first fight.
I mean, I think the beating that Kell's going to take, I don't think he'll want to have a rematch, to be honest with you. But look, it is there, and obviously, as both fighters now, we looked at this fight and thought, if it's such a good fight, last thing we want is having issues of doing a rematch. So why not put it in there? And so that way we know exactly there will be a rematch as well if it's such a good fight and it's such a competitive and a close fight. But the way I look at it is I don't think it will be. I think it'll be a one-sided fight where I don't think there'll be need for a rematch.
Cool. Thanks, Amir. Good luck.
Thank you.
Let's go to Nick Purewal now.
Hi, Amir. Just on that, because Kell was kind of talking about how he's feeling good and he'd been thinking about hoping that he can keep going on beyond this fight. Do you feel similarly then? Because obviously you're saying you're in great shape and you feel good, and in a way the break that you've had can that extend your career beyond this then? Because it seems like you'd be fresh again.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think so. And with the break I had, obviously it was a long break. And even when I started to train again, it was really, really hard. And as I mentioned earlier, when I came into Colorado and I came to Omaha last time, I found it really hard. And I thought, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do 2 sessions a day every day? And on Saturday and Sunday, you do 1 session a day. I thought, how am I going to do that? There's no days off you have. But the body is so smart that obviously I'm coping with it. I've done 5 weeks of training already and I feel so much stronger. I've never felt this strong in my life, and I do feel that I've got a lot left in me. Even after this fight, I think I will have a few more fights left in me where, I'm even like the way I look at it is, and what gave me more confidence was when I was training with the younger fighters who are at the peak of their career, who are world champions or getting to becoming world champions, and having that in their sight that they want to become a world champion. I'm outrunning them. I'm outsparring them. I'm the work rate I have is outpointing them. So I'm thinking, wow, if I'm doing this against some young fighters who are fresher than me, because at the end of the day, look, I am 35 and I've been in a lot of wars. My body has had a lot of beating. So, but still, I can still manage and I can still cope with it. Look, when you look at my life outside of boxing, I think I live a reasonable, clean life. And I think that's what's going to help me going into this fight as well. Even though being 35, Kell is a very similar age to me. I think with Kell's lifestyle is very different. We live 2 opposite lifestyles. I live that clean lifestyle. I'm a family man. I spend time with my family, and I don't drink alcohol. So I live that clean life. Whereas with Kel, I don't think he does. I think Kel does go. He goes missing for a couple of days. He goes on a bender and stuff like that. Where there's a difference in the way you look at him. I mean, if you looked at him, if you saw him at the press conference, you would see in him how unfit, unhealthy he looked. Is he gonna be in the best condition in 10 weeks? Whereas with me, I've been training for the last couple of months. So, but yeah, I mean, look, time will tell.
Let's go to Jonathan Pinfield.
I mean, Kel said that when he's watched you in the ring previously, he's described it like watching Bambi on ice, and he's questioned your chin. Do you think a deciding factor in the fight could be who's got the best punch resistance? And just going back to the Bambi comment, are there any Disney or cartoon characters that you see in Kel Brook?
No, I mean, I think, look, Kel's going to try to, look, we know that Kel's not the best of speakers. You know, the amount of shit he comes out with and the shit he talks, you know what I'm saying? And that's one thing about him, which maybe is one of the reasons the fight never really happened, because the crap he comes out with doesn't make sense, where he ends up suffering from not having that fight. But now he's going to give him that opportunity where now it's time, with all the rubbish he says, is for me to punch him in his face and put him in his place the proper way. You know what I mean? I mean, in front of my face, he shits himself. When he comes to me, if he's a man, he'd say it straight to my face, but he never says that straight to my face because he ain't man enough, and he knows deep down himself that he can't beat me. You get me? So he's gonna say things behind the camera. He's gonna say things when he's not near me. But I mean, look, he can say what he wants. Look, I know one thing. I know one thing for a fact, that I will knock him out, and I will put him asleep. And he can say what he wants. Yeah, I mean, all this about punch resistance, not taking a punch. I mean, the guys who have put me down have been good fighters with good knockout percentages. You know what I mean? And no disrespect to that. I mean, I put my 100% fine. But the beating he's taken, and the way he's been hurt himself, and that was recently as well against Crawford. I'm like, yo, this guy really needs to think twice what he's saying. I mean, yeah, says things to promote a fight, but you're going to make yourself look more stupid by saying all this, you know.
Let's go to Ryan Elliott now.
Hi, Amir. Thank you for joining us. Just one question from me. Going back to Manchester for this fight, you fought all over the world, but obviously Manchester, particularly earlier in your career, is somewhere that was very special for you. How much does it mean to you now this fight is happening to take it somewhere that holds a place close to your heart?
I mean, Manchester is one of them places where I've had my first defeat, and then I won a world title there as well. So I've had good and bad, but to be honest with you, it's been more good for me than bad, because I think that loss that I had against Prescott for the first time was probably a blessing in disguise for me, because it made me work harder. It brought my feet back down to earth, and you know, and I think I needed something like that at that time, because I thought I was the best. I was going to become a world champion, do this, do that. But then obviously that was like a wake-up call for me to come back and sort myself out. Now, then from then on, I went and won a world title there. I've had some great performances since then in Manchester Arena, and I love the arena. It's close to home. I do have a lot of fans and a lot of people who support me from that area. So it feels at home to me. It's like second home to me, really, because I live in Bolton. I'm literally 20 minutes away from Manchester. So I'm quite happy that the fight's there. And look, one thing about Manchester is I think it has to be one of the best arenas out there, because, you know, you've got hotels close by, you've got everything close by. For fans, it's the right location. And it just shows how quick the arena sold out within minutes. So yeah, that's Manchester for you, man.
Let's go to Matt into boxing.
Hi, Amir. I hope you're well.
Hi, man. You're right.
I was. You talk about this being obviously the business decision when you're making the fight. Would the business decision would have been to make the fight, 4 or 5 years ago? Because we talk about this fight that potentially could have filled out Wembley Stadium at the time.
Yeah.
Would that not have been sort of the better business decision?
Probably would have been, yeah. But then, you just don't know how things can turn out, and things go from there. I really wanted to campaign and make a name for myself in America. So I was doing a lot of fights in America at that time. And then obviously I did waste a lot of time on when I was chasing Mayweather on the Pacquiao fight. So I did waste some time there. I mean, if I could change some few things, that might be one of the things I would have changed to have that fight early. But look, regardless, I think it's good that it's come now as well, because people still know that it's going to be a hell of a fight.
Absolutely. Well, good luck, Amir. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Gareth A. Davies, you had your hand up and it come down. Do you want to ask a question?
I would. Good evening, Amir. How are you?
Gareth, how are you? Good, thanks.
I'm good, thank you. Can I go back to Disney characters, please?
Yeah.
Elicited a great answer from you. Does Sleeping Beauty come to mind, maybe?
I mean, that's why he gets called Kelly, if you want, yeah, because I mean, he's one of them guys who always, I mean, the way he comes out with things, like he's the best out there who can take the best shot, and he's never been put down himself, he's never been put asleep himself. Come on, wake up, man. I mean, I don't like getting into stuff like that, because I just think that it becomes like a cat fight, really. Then it becomes I'm not that type of guy. You know, I mean, calling him this, calling names and stuff. I just find it quite funny, really, and hilarious that he's come to a stage where for him to promote this fight now, or he's probably lost of words now that he's coming out with some bloody Disney characters now.
Can I just quickly add to that? So are you less emotional than he is about this fight?
Well, definitely. Look, my job is just to go in there and do what I do best. With Kel, he's very emotional because he's wanted this fight for a very long time. He's very emotional because he's seen my career do so well in America, come back to UK, sell at arenas, and have, and make a lot of money in the sport. So yeah, I do feel where he's coming from. He's going to be very emotional, but his hard work and his hard work dedication. Also, he keeps mentioning about the Olympics, that I went to Olympic Games. I went to Olympics because I was the best out there to go to Olympics, and I qualified. The whole team that we had, no one else qualified. If he was really that good of a fighter, he would have been picked over me, but he never was, because I was always the better fighter. Even now, as a professional, I've achieved a lot more than him. I've done better than him in my career, and financially, I've made a lot more money than him because I'm a better fighter, and that's what he needs to understand. But he's very emotional on that, saying that, why did I get these opportunities, where really it wasn't me getting these opportunities because of I'm a nice guy. It was because my skills talk for itself. I'm gonna catch you in a little while. I think we've got another little talk after. All right, Gav.
Let's go to Adam Smith now.
Hey, Amir, how are you?
I don't know why.
Yeah, very good, thank you. Very excited about 4 weeks' time. A couple of things. A couple of things. One, Kel was saying earlier that it means more to him, this fight, that I think, he's seen your career and he doesn't think it means this specific fight as much to you as it does to him, that he's been chasing it more than you have. Just your reaction to that. And also with Bomac, you've been through a lot of trainers over the years, from Oliver Harrison, Dean Powell, Freddie, Joe, Virgil, etc. How can you get the right game plan in place in such a short period of time? And if things do go wrong in the fight, are you convinced you've got the right guy in the corner there for you?
Yeah, I definitely think I've got the right guy in the corner going into this fight. Bomac is a very good trainer. I mean, the way he breaks down a fight. I mean, what gave me the indication of choosing someone like Bomac was the way, when I fought Crawford, the way they were making me miss, the way they fought me, the way they were, even though I might have had a few injuries, but I'm not going to talk about the injury side of it, but I'm just saying the way they had that game plan. And from watching my whole amateur career, from watching my whole professional career, seeing the small little points or the mistakes I make and capitalizing on that. I mean, why is Crawford one of the best out there? Because it's a team thing. If he was on his own with a normal medium trainer, I don't think he'll be in this position. It's because it's his team. He has a really good team around him who kind of push him, motivate him, but do all the behind the scene work So when they go into the gym with him, they tell him exactly what to do. Now that's what they're going to do with me. Now, why I thought it's a brilliant idea to be with them is because they know me inside out. They've watched so much videos of me when they were fighting me that they know my style, how to improve me, make me a better fighter. Secondly, they know Kell Brook as well. They fought Kell Brook. They beat Kell Brook. So they know Kell really well. So it's not, there's two fighters, myself and Kell, who they don't know much of. They know a lot about us. So that was one of the ideas to be with him. But then to train here in altitude and the way he trains his fighters, it tells me now why Crawford is pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world, because they really push the fighters. I mean, I remember coming a couple of months ago when I saw Jamel training, and I was like, oh my God, like this guy's a beast, and they can have me doing that. And thinking about it now, when I was thinking about it then, I was like, how am I going to do this? Because I've never been pushed from like Virgil or Freddie or anyone like this. And at the same time, what was in my mind was, I'm getting older. So is my body going to cope with it? I'm going to start getting injuries. But guess what? I mean, the body is so smart where, you know, I didn't think I had it in me to do it, but guess what? I came through it. I feel stronger, the best shape I've ever been. And I'm doing everything that the other guys like Jamel, Crawford do, and the other fighters do. And I'm giving it my all as well. I'm pushing it hard as well. So that's one thing I've realized, that, you know, I can do it still. And I can push myself right to the limit where I'm out beating the young fighters. I'm out sprinting them. I'm beating them in this long distance. I'm sparring them, doing the 4-minute rounds of sparring. I was so scared of the 4-minute round sparring. I'm thinking, how am I going to do that? Because 3 minutes is hard, let alone another minute on top of that. 4-minute rounds of sparring, 30-second breaks. I'm finding it easy now. So, and Bomax with his game plan is giving it, is sticking in there because I respect the guy so much. He beat me. He beat me with Crawford. He beat Kell with Crawford. So he must know something, and he must be good at setting a game plan. So that's why I have so much respect for him. So whatever he tells me to do, I do. And sorry, what was the first question, Adam?
Just that Kell said that it means so much more to him.
Oh yeah. So you know what? He might think that I'm going into this fight like it doesn't mean anything to me. This means everything to me, my legacy, my whole boxing career, because I have to win this fight. If this is one of my last big fights, I want to make sure I shine. I look good in it. I don't want to be remembered as a fighter who was really good when in his mid age, and then as he got older, he just kind of fell off. I mean, no, I don't want to be one of the fighters. I don't want to be known for one of them fighters. And I have to win this fight. I have to go into this fight because this is such a big grudge match in the UK. And I walk the streets in the UK. I live there. And being a name as well, and being on the TV shows and being having my own TV shows and stuff, the name always gets mentioned about Kell Brook. And I won't be able to live with that. That's why I have to make sure I go into this fight and win this fight. I can't have him thinking that I'm not focused. I'm more focused than any other fight I've ever had, because like I said, I cannot lose this fight.
Thanks, Amir.
Thank you, Adam.
Right, we're going to go to October Red now.
Hi, good afternoon, Amir. Abs
Hi.
from October Red Boxing. Nice to finally get to speak to you.
Thank
All
you,
the
you
best
too.
on your up and coming match. But one of the things I wanted to touch on, and it sort of like follows on from what Adam said, it's about the trainer, the continuity with the trainer. You've mentioned obviously that Crawford's trainer has had Crawford when he's beat the both of you.
Correct.
He's obviously embedded with his fighter.
Correct.
Kell has sort of like alluded to the fact that he has been with his trainer from the beginning. He's got that continuity. He believes that you having another trainer yet again will serve as a disadvantage. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts to that is this now. You know, when you're with a trainer who like a Bomac, who's one of the best trainers in the world, he's training the likes of Crawford and Jamel Herring and even Shakur Stevenson. You don't want to come in a camp like this and not give it your all. You have to show them that you still have it in you to perform at the best. Now, I know for a fact that if I went back to Virgil Hunter, I'm going back in my comfortable zone. I'm going to be comfortable with him. I know how easy it's going to be. I know for a fact when I'm here with Bomac and the guys, I'm uncomfortable. I'm not chilled. I'm not like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go and do this. I'll get away with doing this. I can't get away with anything. I've got 2 trainers watching me 24/7. When I'm in that gym, when I step in that gym, there's always someone watching me. One watching my feet, one watching my hands, one watching the game, one making sure I'm sticking to the game plan. Whereas with Kel, he'll have it a little bit easier because he'll find it more comfortable working with a trainer like Dominic, because he's been with him for so long. He knows how the system works. See, for me, it's not like that, because I know for a fact if I'm not training hard here, they tell me to go home, or they lose that respect for me. The way one thing I realized is when you get a new trainer, you have to earn your respect. And the way you earn your respect is by training hard, working hard, and sparring these tough guys. Now, I've come to America. I'm in Colorado Springs. I'm sparring these tough young fighters who Crawford spars with, who Jamel and them other guys spar with. They're sparring with me now. Now I have to make sure I look really good against them, because I still see myself as one of the top guys out there. So and they still obviously when they see me, they still know that Amir is such a big name. They have that respect for me, and I could see that when I first ever walked into that gym, like everyone's eyes lit up. Oh, Amir Khan's here, and they're taking pictures with me. Now for me, that kind of put a little bit of pressure on me, because I have to perform now to show these people I still have it in me. And why they want to take a selfie with me, why they want to take a picture with me, why they want to allow me to train with them is because they remember me being good, but I have to still be good, and I have to still stick of being the best out there. So, so that's what my aim was to come here, is to have that still in me, that look, I have to prove to them that I belong here. Otherwise, there's been many fighters that want to come here and train here, but they've said no to them. So I have to work hard and show them that I still have it in me to belong in this training camp. Last thing they want is, after they've got pound for pound best fighters in the world, they've got people like Shakur's training here, who in the future will be pound for pound, in my opinion. Last thing they want is having someone like a beat up guy to come here and it puts the team down. Nah, I can't do that. You know, they wouldn't do that. They got too much pride, and it's good for me to know that, because it makes me train hard.
I like that. It's like the philosophy of getting comfortable with being uncomfortable to keep you razor sharp.
100%.
All the best.
No, I understand what you're saying there is true, because I remember when I used to do training camps with like Virgil Hunter and other trainers who you used to, and it becomes easy because you know exactly what to do. You know the days off you're having. Hey, I've had no days off. Like I've had some days off, half days off. I've had some easy days and some hard days. I just don't know what to expect with these guys. You know, I mean, every day is a different day. Whereas with Freddie and other coaches, I used to know what to expect. So you become comfortable with that. I'm very uncomfortable here, you know, but it's tough. It's bringing the best out of me.
Awesome.
Right.
Thank you very much for your time.
I think that's where we'll wrap it. Apologies if you didn't get to ask a question. We'll have plenty more opportunities to speak with Amir over the next few weeks. Amir, anything you want to say to Kel?
Look, you know, I don't like speaking and saying I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but I think come fight night, you know, I think I will definitely earn that respect from him. I know he keeps saying he's got no respect for me, and you know, for me, obviously, I was at the stage where when we used to have that talk, there was talks about me fighting him, and it was more banter for me. It was because I knew that I was with a different promoter, the fight would not happen. I was campaigning in America, so I used to say, yeah, you know, it could happen one day, but I don't want to fight him. He has to do this. I mean, look, it's happening now. The main thing is happening now, and with all that talking he's been doing for years, saying that he wants to fight me, this is a time for him to show and prove that why he wanted that fight.
Amir, good luck with the rest of your camp. We'll catch up soon. I'll see you in fight week.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thanks. Take care. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.